Legislation to give Puerto Rico the opportunity to vote on its political future is pending in the U.S. House of Representatives. Passed by the House Resources Committee by a vote of 44-1 in May 1997 and co-sponsored by some 90 members from both sides of the aisle, H.R. 856 would provide the 3.8 million American citizens of the island the chance to select from one of three congressionally defined options: statehood, independence, or the status quo Commonwealth arrangement. The bill was expected to move to the floor for a vote by the full body in October of 1997, but it did not happen. Supporters allege that it was delayed by stalling tactics, by members who did not want to see come about a debate on the merits of the bill. H.R. 856 is now slated for a floor consideration by the full House in early March of 1998. And the bill's supporters expect that that schedule will be honored. Concerned about fair play for their fellow citizens of Puerto Rico, the leaders of national Hispanic organizations are speaking out on the issue and are communicating to members of Congress the views of their broad-based constituencies. Recently, these seven expressed their support of H.R. 856 and offered their views on certain aspects of the legislation.
I think that this is a very crucial piece of legislation. We are going to be monitoring it very carefully. It has a tremendous impact on the membership of our organizations. So consequently, we will continue to be strong advocates to ensure that every member of Congress is fully well informed about this bill that is so important to the Latino community.
We think that it is imperative that this legislation be approved. For one, up until now, Puerto Rico has been denied the opportunity to choose or to vote for president. We believe that somewhere along the line, they need to do that.
With so much business and so many business members in Puerto Rico, they seek full participation with America in doing business. When they came to us, they put their position forth, and we supported it.
We don't all agree in all the issues that are involved with this particular thing, but we all agree in one thing. It is the right thing to do, and it is time to do it.
I think it's important and that we say to the Congress of the United States that the people of Puerto Rico must have their voice heard.
This is really the first time that we would end up having something that has had the blessing of Congress before it came into being. So this is why I think the adoption of this bill that defines the formulas, and Congress would have agreed on the definition of the formulas, I think is extremely important because it gives us some type of assurance that Congress has a compromiso, has an agreement to at least honor doing something about this.
I'll be very candid with you. The Mexican American and the Puerto Rican have fought U.S. wars more than any other ethnic group by their percentage of participation, the deaths, combat deaths, and medals of honor won. So I think that the Mexican American and the Puerto Rican and other Hispanics can hold their head high that they've added to the basic development of this country.
Where we as America, we go and we champion freedom and liberty and choice, and we champion democracy throughout the world. Yet in our own backyard, in Puerto Rico, we have not let the people of Puerto Rico make up their minds as to what they want to be, who they want to be, and what they want to do for the future of their children.
Between 1992 and 1994, there was an increase of 1 million Latino voters in the United States. We expect that by the year 2000, there will be an increase by 2 to 3 million additional voters. And all I can say is that the Latino agenda is the American agenda, and this issue is very critical to our agenda.
When you look across America, you're seeing that Hispanics, not only are they becoming mayors, not only have they been governors, they're in the state senates, the state's house. In California, the speaker is Latino. What that tells you is that, yes, we are getting there, but yes, we are getting there because politically we're getting involved at the grassroots level across America.
Hispanics, we want to mainstream. We don't want to be separated from everything. And personally, I don't particularly care much about when they say this is a Hispanic issue and this is a black issue or this is a white issue. I think everything that goes on Capitol Hill affects everybody. So there's no such thing as it's a one race or the other's issue. You know, this is an American issue, and we are all Americans.
I'm no less American because I am Hispanic, and I'm not any less Hispanic because I am an American.
I think we're great for this country. I think that we bring a lot of things that this country needs. I think Puerto Ricans bring a lot of things to this country that are important. And I think that to a large degree, Latinos are still coming here with that immigrant attitude of, hey, let's get in there, let's work hard, let's build this new country of ours. And I think that this country needs that.
We're very concerned with the attitude in this country that was led in the last election that was focused on Hispanic bashing, this anti-immigrant sentiment. Many of our publications ran a series of editorials criticizing that kind of attitude, and that there was no need for it, that in fact it is trying to provoke fear in the American electorate, when instead of being something to fear, Hispanics should be someone to embrace because of the substantial contributions we've made in this country.
It's time for Hispanic elected leaders to rise above small enclave ethnic politics and really try to show leadership for this nation, because again, as we go into the fast track and the free trade of the Americas and the NAFTA expansion, we should be on the front end of it.
Most of us do speak both languages, some a little broken like mine, others better, others worse. But you know, most of us do speak both languages. There's some people that only speak English, and there are other people that only speak Spanish. So we have the whole spectrum there. We are very particular about keeping our language and speaking our language in our land. And I don't see anything wrong with that.
To suggest to a people that where both English and Spanish are the official language of the country, they will no longer be able to speak in Spanish is a major slap in the face, not only to Puerto Rico, but to Hispanics in the mainland.
The bottom line is that in our global economy, Spanish is definitely an asset, and we strongly support multilingualism that will enhance our economic opportunities in this country. When you consider that 2/3 of the inhabitants and residents of this hemisphere are Spanish-speaking, it would be ludicrous for the United States not to recognize that multilingualism will enhance our opportunity to do better trade with our neighbors to the south. So LULAC opposes English only, but supports English plus. English plus other languages that our children can learn and master that will enhance their future.
Our position has always been one of English plus. We believe that in a global society, that it's very short-sighted to believe that we're going to have good relationships or that we're going to be able to have a peaceful world if everybody is so egocentric as to only speak one language. I mean, that's of no value to anybody. So we've always espoused bilingualism at its fullest, not just for Latinos, but we believe that everybody in the United States should be bilingual.
If, for example, Puerto Rico were to choose to become a state upon given the opportunity to choose so, we foresee that there will be both Republican and Democratic members of Congress that would come out of Puerto Rico.
I believe that Puerto Ricans have some qualities that are very conservative. We're family-oriented, very strongly family-oriented. We're pro-life. So these are some things that are close to the Republican soul. So I'm not absolutely certain that Puerto Rico would go Democratic the way some people they make it to be.
Because of the fact that they're as astute as they are, they have choices on both sides. More than one political party, more than two political parties currently exist in Puerto Rico today, and have for many years, and they have run their politics very well.
This is a bill to let the Puerto Rican people decide what they want to do, what the future of the 4 million disfranchised American citizens that live in the island of Puerto Rico is going to be, what our relationship with the United States is going to be. And it's up to us, and it's the American way to do things. Let people decide what they want to do.
I think you're going to see in the next few weeks some aggressive reporting on this issue, because it does affect our community. And yes, the answer is definitely that many of our papers are going to be responding with a number of editorials in favor of this legislation.